Did you know that using a standing desk can have some profound impacts on your overall health, particularly when we compare this to a sitting desk? And particularly if you're somebody that works from a desk most of the time, then this is definitely the video for you, because in this video, I want to unpack some of the most common health benefits. We're going to go through the top 5 health benefits that using and just simply switching to a standing desk could have on your overall health now, but also into the future. So stick around, let's dive straight in. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Steven Hulme, if you've not met me already. And I'm excited for this video because I have recently personally started to use a standing desk. And although my job is not constantly sitting, I am up and down quite a lot in the day. Since getting a standing desk, I have found that I'm sitting a lot less. And interestingly, this is associated with better health. And it's just one of those things that you can input into your day quite easily to have some quite profound impacts later on down the line. And we know that even small changes, when you compound them over decades of your life, can have some really big impacts later on. And I'm a big believer when it comes to health that you want to affect every aspect or as many aspects of your health as possible to give you the best possible health, quality of life and longevity going forwards. So going into the first one, and I think it's possibly one of the biggest impacts, and that's going to be on how it affects your chances and risk of developing certain diseases. So a study in JAMA found that just reducing your sedentary lifestyle, so reducing sitting by just 30 minutes each day, has been linked with less diabetes, less cancer, and less heart disease. And it very much makes sense because when you're in a standing position, your body has to work a little bit harder. And there's lots of things that I'm about to go through that you'll see why that could be the case. So that leads me then straight into number 2, which is how it improves circulation. And we know that the cardiovascular system is a very important system in the body. And heart disease is one of the most common reasons why people die. And so if we can improve the cardiovascular system, even slightly, over decades of your life, that can have some really big impacts. Now, one of the reasons why standing desks can do this is because when you're standing, your muscles are a lot more active, but also you're going to get less pulling or the blood that going into your legs. When you're sitting, particularly with the knees at 90 degrees, the blood has a chance to pull down into the legs. You may have heard that it's quite common to develop DVT, which is a clot in one of the veins in your legs that can be life-threatening. Commonly, this is, or at least typically, this is something that develops when you sit on a plane for like 10 hours. And this is just because when you're sitting for long periods, the veins become a little bit less effective. And that's because the muscles in your legs are designed, particularly your calves, are designed to pump the blood out of your legs back through your system. And the more active your muscles are, particularly your calves, the better your circulation is throughout your whole body. And so standing has the advantage of keeping your muscles more active, particularly your calves, which can therefore improve your circulation. Number 3 is how it burns more calories. So they found on average for a 6-hour day, compared to sitting, you can burn an extra 54 calories. The reason for this is similar to what I said previously and how your muscles are more active. To keep yourself balanced when you're standing, you need muscular contraction. And you've got these very small micromuscular contractions just to keep you steady. Your brain has to do a little bit more. Your muscles have to do a bit more. And there's some good healthy stress going through your body. So if you're somebody that is looking to lose weight, of course, this alone is not going to be the answer, but it could be one of those small things that if you just add, and as well as adding other things to it, could make a nice difference to you in regards to your weight loss journey. But even if you're not looking to lose weight, it's still a really good thing just for your overall health. Number 4 is how this improves your posture. Now, when you're standing, it's generally easier to be more upright. Your muscles are more active, so that holds you into a better position. But I think also you're a little bit more active. So when you're sitting, it's so much easier, particularly towards the end of the day, when you get a little bit tired, for you to slump into this forward position. And that's not only going to put a lot more pressure through your spine. In fact, sitting while slumped is the position that puts the most amount of pressure through your spine. And if you've ever suffered with sciatica or really a lot of back issues, you'll know this to be the case, because this will be the worst position for you. Lying down puts the least amount of pressure on your spine, but standing is somewhere in the middle. So standing puts less pressure through the spine than sitting, and that is one of the reasons why standing generally is better for you than sitting. Now, this is not the case necessarily with everyone. If you've got a particular issue that is worse when you stand in one position for a long time, which is for a lot of people, then standing in one position all the time is not necessarily going to be the best thing for you. But this is where I think flipping between sitting and standing is where a standing desk becomes the most effective. And this is one of my tips that I would suggest for you if you have a standing desk or you're thinking about getting a standing desk. It's not just to stand all day and it's not just to sit all day. It's to frequently switch between the two as much as you can. And if you want to know how long for each one, my suggestion is do it as frequently as you can. And really, this just comes down to practicalities. It's obviously not that practical to be switching every 1 minute. You will never get any work done. So it's finding a frequency that works best for you, probably anywhere between half an hour to maybe an hour. Maybe for some people, it may be an hour and a half, 2 hours, but the less generally is going to be the better. And so before I go through the last benefit, let me just talk about what kind of standing desk is the type of standing desk you should look for if you're thinking about getting one. And the best type of standing desk is going to be one that allows you to go from the sitting to standing with ease. The thing is, if it doesn't allow you to get from sitting to standing with ease and it takes effort or a lot of time, you're just not going to switch between those positions as often. So that's why I can really recommend Domly. This is the table that I personally got recently, and Domly have some really high quality, high grade tables. They have really easy ways of the table from going from sitting to standing. You can preset the exact height that works best for you. Now, this is the other benefit, is that you can get the exact height that actually works for you, rather than getting a desk and that is the set height and that's the one you have to work with. You can so easily with Domly, with their tables, adjust it to actually suit you rather than you suiting the table, which is less ideal. But what's great about them is that you can just press a button and then it goes from standing or goes and then goes to sitting. And it's also just a really nice table. So it's got a really nice oak wood, and this just means that you're going to want to use it more often as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a standing desk and you're in the UK, then I can highly recommend Domly. I'll put a link in the description for them. Now that brings me on to number 5, and that is a standing desk is going to enhance your focus and concentration across the day. The reason why is because when you're standing, because you're a bit more active, you're generally going to be a bit more alert and a bit more focused. But I think the bigger aspect here is when you're switching from standing to sitting all the time, you're going to be, or because you're in different positions, it's a new position for your brain. At least you're not in one position all the time. So it's going to keep your brain a little bit more active, a little bit more focused. And particularly if you start to get a little bit tired, you can just switch position. It may just give you a little bit more alertness, a little bit more energy that you needed. So I think because of that variety is a reason why you can have a bit more alertness, and therefore standing desk could theoretically make you more productive across the day. So they are my top 5 health benefits for a standing desk. So I really hope that inspired and motivated you to see the benefits of getting a standing desk. And I think nowadays they are becoming more popular and more commonplace. And I think if more people could use them, we'll see less issues in regards to people's spines and also just overall better health. So if you've not got one yet, go and get yourself one. And if you need a recommendation, head into the description of this video and you can find Domly and see their range of desks. Thanks again for watching, and if you've not seen my previous 2 videos on the standing desk, I will pop them up just here and here, so you can now go check those out, find out how you can get yourself into the best position and how to avoid the most common mistakes. Thanks for watching. See you next time.